Good morning, third grade. It is Wednesday and it is also Earth Day. So happy Earth Day. Earth Day is a really great time to learn more about our planet and what we can do to help it and things like that. A lot of actually really interesting things have been going on with our planet because of having to stay inside. So maybe go online and check that out because there's a lot of interesting things happening. So happy Earth Day. We're going to go ahead and get started. Before we get into our new one for today, I wanted to backtrack to when we were talking about the Grand Canyon last, because I saw some really interesting responses that I wanted to point out. So I wanted to make sure that we understood the question. So it said, imagine that you were at the Grand Canyon. Describe what you see using details from the text. That did not mean that you were just going to state facts about the Grand Canyon. You weren't supposed to be saying the Grand Canyon is 277 miles wide. It is 18 miles. It is 1 mile deep. It is located in the Arizona desert. No, I do not want you to just state random facts about it that you read. The point was for you to use your descriptive language to describe what the Grand Canyon looks like. So here was one response that I got that I thought was really excellent and I wanted to point out. If you are near the Colorado River, it will be hard for you to miss the Grand Canyon since it is 277 miles long. It is made up of these brown and orange looking rocks that are many different shapes. The canyon is so big that all you can see for miles are different shaped rocks because of the erosion that has happened. It's like a wave of rocks. So this scholar put in a couple different key things that she read in the text, like 277 miles. It's different because of the erosion, things like that. It's near the Colorado River. So those were some facts, but she also described it. Brown and orange, different shapes. It's like a wave, okay? So things like that. That was what I was looking for. So excellent job on that. This is our learning target for today. I can identify the main idea of a text using details from the text to support my answer. So we're looking for the main idea. What is this story mostly about? Okay, so today, since it is Earth Day, I wanted us to do something that had to do with our Earth and what Earth Day is all about. So we're going to be talking about renewable energy. Now, this is a really big and fancy topic, but I know that we're super smart and we can handle this. So this is really important for you to follow along carefully because it can get a little bit confusing. So renewable energy, we all know about energy. We have lights in our house, so that's electricity, things like that. So that's a form of energy. We're going to talk about some really interesting energy that's really good for our planet, okay? So make sure that you are following along and you're reading out loud with me if you can. All right, here we go. We use electricity every day. Electricity is, powering lights, machines. You have to plug something in, you're using electricity. But a lot of this electrical power comes from sources that'll soon run out. We have new ways to get power though. Renewable energy sources can never be used up. The world is starting to use renewable power instead. So now we know that renewable energy can never be used up. And energy is just what you need in order to do something, right? You need energy in order to get out of bed. Oh, I gotta get out of bed. Well, you need to use your energy to do that. Same thing when you want to power something up. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to do a little highlight. So now there's a difference between non-renewable and renewable, okay? There's a difference, and we're going to figure out what that difference is. Energy can be produced or created from two different categories of sources. Some energy sources are non-renewable. They are limited and will eventually be used up, so you will run out of them eventually, and they'll be gone. Non-renewable resources include coal, like what you'll get in your stocking from Santa if you're bad, and oil. Oil can be used to power a lot of different machines. Renewable energy sources include wind, sunlight, and water. So very different materials, right? Now here is a little chart that shows energy sources in the United States. So this is what we usually do. So a big thing that we're using is petroleum, natural gas, and coal. Those are the big things that we're using. So like gas to power up our car, things that are used to power up trains and all those big things. And then a bunch of tiny little things. So you see how the solar and the wind, we barely use any of it, even though that's some good ones? Let's see. This section is going to tell us about the benefits of renewable energy sources, things that are going to be really good about it. Well, renewable energy sources will not run out. That's really good. We can get enough energy from the sun to power all of our buildings and cars forever. We can get energy from the sun to power our cars? I thought that gas did that. Renewable energy is also better for the environment. So it's better for our planet. Non-renewable resources release gases that make the earth hotter. And you don't want it to get too hot. So renewable energy sources do not produce these gases, which is really, really good for us. Now we're going to talk about wind power. So we're going to talk about one type of renewable energy. Anyone who has been outside in a storm knows the power of the wind, right? Wind is, it can knock you over. So there's these things called wind turbines, which is right here in the picture. And these wind turbines have blades, those little 3 things right there. Right here, these little turbines. And these are blades that spin around in the wind. And when they spin, it actually makes electricity. So when they're spinning, they're making electricity. And if you go out into more rural areas, more spaced out, you probably will see these if you take a long drive somewhere. Now we're going to talk about solar power, which is coming from the sun. The sun's rays can also be turned into electricity. Devices called solar cells, which is just something that is with the sun. Solar cells, which you'll see right here, these are panels, can make electricity anytime the sun is shining on them. Many cells collected together can provide enough electricity to power an entire building. So these are all little cells here, they're panels. So you see a lot of these again, and you might see these on people's roofs. So if you look up on someone's roof and you see these, that means that they're powering their house with solar power. So when the sun is shining on them, these panels collect that sun and turn it into energy and electricity. And now we're going to talk about power generated from water. Yep, just like water. Another natural force that can create electricity is water. This is called hydropower. So it's power from hydro, like hydrogen, which is water. It uses the energy in flowing water to create electricity. You need to have a large river to make hydropower. So we can't just have a bottle of water make energy. We can't just do that for what we want. We need to have a large river, like you see in this picture right here. So this is a plant, and I don't mean a plant that you can pick, like a flower. It's a different type of plant that's making power from water because this is a huge river right here. Many people hope new technology will make people use renewable energy in the future. This will make sure we have enough energy in the future. So hopefully the technology that we're seeing, like with the solar panels and things like that, will help us understand how important renewable energy really is. All right, we are done reading. Excellent job. I know that was a lot of information. Let's go ahead and look at some of our questions. First question here, how do wind turbines make energy? So I'm going to go down to where it was talking about wind power. Wind turbines have blades that spin around in the wind. When they spin, it makes electricity. So there's our answer right there. Now we just need to match it. Wind turbines spin to create waves that make electricity. Are they creating waves? I don't think so. I don't see the word waves here. Wind turbines burn oil as they spin. Is it talking about oil here? No. Wind turbines spin around to create electricity. Yeah, when they spin, it makes electricity. So notice the difference between this one and this one. This one adds the word waves, so don't let that trip you up. Wind turbines collect energy on solar cells. Nope, solar cells are with the solar power. So this is our best answer. Which of these text details is the most important? Anyone who has been outside in a storm knows the power of the wind. Renewable energy sources will not run out. You need to have a large river to make hydropower. Or many cells collected together can provide enough electricity to power an entire building. Now this is tricky because I think they're all very important. But I want you to look at all of your examples here. Are any of them similar to each other in any way? If you look at A, C, and D, they're all examples of what? What are they examples of? They're examples of renewable energy, right? The wind, the river, the water, and the sun. So these three are all examples of renewable energy. And what's so important or special about renewable energy? It will never run out. So make sure you're looking at all your answer choices as a whole as well, because I notice that these three are all examples and this is the idea. So the idea here, the main idea is that the renewable energy sources won't run out and they're really special and important for us. Okay? Where does hydropower come from? Where is it coming from? Is it coming from the sun, the ground, plants and animals, or water in a river? Which one did we say that hydropower came from? This one? No, this one, right? Right here it says power generated from water in a river. Right here, a large river, hydropower. Excellent. What is the main idea of this text? Of the whole text here. I'm talking about the whole story. What is the main idea? That solar energy is easier to make than wind energy? That renewable energy sources help meet our energy needs and are really good for the planet? Renewable energy costs a lot of money? Or that only some of the energy used comes from that? Which one is this mainly talking about? Pause this video, make sure you look through and answer this question. So when I'm looking at this, I'm looking about the big idea, the main idea, what the whole thing is about. And we're talking about how renewable energy is really good for us, and it's awesome. Excellent. We're only going to do a couple more. We're almost there. What is the main idea of the section solar power? So now I'm focusing on a specific one. So I'm going to go back to solar power. The sun rays can also be turned into electricity. Devices called solar cells can make electricity anytime the sun is shining on them. Many cells collected together can provide enough electricity to power an entire building. So what's the main idea of that? That ocean waves had a lot of energy? That the U.S. uses mostly non-renewable energy sources? That light from the sun can be used to create energy? Or that finding oil is a difficult process? Pause and answer the question. If you're back, you know that this is definitely the correct answer. Excellent job. Here is the last one. Choose two things that could happen if we do not use renewable energy. I'm going to go ahead because we didn't really focus a lot on that. Gases will make our planet hotter, and we're going to eventually run out of those renewable energy sources. Okay, excellent job. That was a lot, but you did excellent. So here is our question for the day. Your written response should be about which type of renewable energy is the most interesting and why. This is an opinion question, so there's no right or wrong answer. But I want you to tell me which one do you think is most interesting? Wind power? Solar power? Solar power? Or power generated from the water? And you have this video to go back and to look at these sections and talk about it and use details from the text to support it. Which one do you think is the most interesting and why? Okay, so that is your story. That is your written response that you need to do. Then after, make sure you've gone over and checked out the other videos, Zura, News ELA, all that good stuff. All right, happy Earth Day, happy Wednesday, happy Hump Day. I will see you ladies soon. Have a fabulous rest of your day. Bye.